Hi, it's Miss Pritzel at the Upton West Library, and I'm book talking a book that some of you may have heard of because there have been two big movies recently that cover this book, but they don't get everything right. So it's Dune by Frank Herbert. This is considered classic sci-fi. It was originally written in 1965, and the author, Frank Herbert, wrote 6 Dune books. But his son, Brian Herbert, and Kevin J. Anderson have written more than 20 books set in the Dune world, and one was as recent as 2022. So this is actually the movies you're probably watching are actually the third movie type iteration. There was a movie, then a TV miniseries. So the House of Atreides is a great house, but it's not a super wealthy house, so they're really being forced by the Emperor to go to Arrakis. And why do they do this? Because they feel it's best for Paul, their Leto and Lady Jessica feel it's best for Paul, their son, because Dune has the potential for great wealth because it's the only planet that produces spice, which is an essential ingredient in so many things. It's number one, it's used a little bit like a narcotic by people, but it's also required for interstellar travel by the Space Guild. I shouldn't say unbeknownst. Secretly, the Emperor is helping House Harkonnen, who used to be in charge of Arrakis, to regain it, and that way get rid of House Atreides. So there is a big battle pretty early on where House Harkonnen comes in and kind of wipes out. Their goal is to wipe out all of House Atreides, and they do a pretty good job of that, but Paul and his mother are able to get away and are taken in by the Fremen. It's not an automatic, woo, yay, look at this person, because the Fremen don't accept them immediately. But they are taken in by the Fremen, and Paul is prophesied to be a messiah of the Fremen, but not everybody believes this. They're like, yeah, right. But a lot of people do. Also, Lady Jessica is a Bene Gesserit, and it's a very interesting group. It's all women, but there's for the Fremen, it's almost a religious type thing, but it's really not that in reality. So the Fremen are incredible survivors and fighters, and Paul does work with them to help sabotage Harkonnen operations for spice on the planet. And eventually there's an ultimate showdown at the end of this book, just as in the movie, between House Harkonnen, the Emperor, and Paul and the Fremen. But there's a lot of things that the current movie version leaves out. For example, Lady Jessica is still pregnant at the end of the movie. There's actually in the book, we get to a point and then there's a time jump of probably 4 to 6 years, definitely around between 4 to 6 years, because number one, Paul has a child with Chani and his sister is born, and she's very interesting child, but she's not like a baby. She's not a toddler. She is definitely a child. We're not given an exact age on her. So if you enjoyed the movies, because I really did think the movies were often awesome, the special effects that they could do, but the book is so much richer in giving you a background on all the political things going on, all the battles, all this stuff that, like I said, this is classic sci-fi. And like I said, if you really like this book, there are many, many more Dune books that you can read. So if sci-fi is your cup of tea, I highly recommend this. This is a classic any sci-fi person should read. If not, I will help you find something else to read. Have a fantastic day and keep on reading.